50 years serving Delaware families and communities. We have 10 branches throughout the state. We're as far north as Wilmington, and down through the state we're in Seaford and Daxboro and Sussex County, so we literally do have locations all over. I wanted to take a moment to recognize some folks from Del One that are here today. From the Del One Federal Credit Union Board of Directors, we have Bill Huffnell, who's our board secretary. We have Elisa Strasowski, and we have Steve Smith, who's our board vice chairman. So thank you for coming today. Also, and this lady's no stranger to anyone, our branch manager at the Milford location is Sherry Lord. Well, Sherry's a fixture in the community and has served this community for many, many years. And then also from the Maryland DC Credit Union League, we have Lee Filibosian. And Del One belongs to the Maryland DC Credit Union League for advocacy and training and education at the national level. So we're appreciative of all the folks that are here today. One of the questions that came up when I was talking with Mr. Andrew and Senator Carper earlier was, how did this come about? And there's cooperatives in lots of industries. There's cooperatives in utilities, there's cooperatives in agriculture, there's cooperatives in financial services. A credit union is a financial cooperative. And there's 7 cooperative principles, and I'm not going to read through all 7 of those, but I am going to spend my time talking about a couple of tenets that really apply to what we're doing today. First of all is tenet number 6, which is cooperation among cooperatives. And this is unique in that credit unions cooperate all the time, utilities cooperate with one another, agriculture cooperates with one another, but this is kind of a cross-industry collaboration that really shows what can be done when there's thinking outside the box and how we can come together. And that brings me to tenet number 5 of the 7 cooperative principles, which is education, training, and information. It's no accident that April is National Financial Literacy Month, and this is just an example of how the Delaware Electric Cooperative, they educate their members as well as keeping their lights on, and Del One Federal Credit Union, we educate our members every day. We were talking earlier that it's more important to us to help that member that needs a small $500 loan for their power bill or for a refrigerator or something like that than it is for the person that has perfect credit that's making a major purchase, because those folks are going to qualify for financing about anywhere. So we really value those opportunities to educate our members. We do that through a variety of ways. We do first-time homebuyers education. We do financial freedom classes, which teaches members who have remedial financial counseling needs. We also offer financial planning services to those members that are further along in their financial journey and they're thinking about retirement or insurance needs or some of the more sophisticated financial needs. But credit unions really make an effort to be there for our member owners at every stage of their financial life. And of course, our goal and our mission is to enrich the financial lives of our member owners. Everything we do is geared towards giving back to them. So with that, I just wanted to once again say thank you to all of our distinguished guests today, and it's just really an honor to be here to think about how over 90,000 members of the Delaware Electric Cooperative are now going to have access to Del One Federal Credit Union as a financial services provider. When we talk about serving the underserved, this just opens up credit union membership to so many people, and we couldn't be more happy for that to be possible. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Bill Andrew, who's the president and CEO of the Delaware Electric Cooperative, located in Greenwood, Delaware. His utility experience covers 39 years, and he's been associated with all aspects of the utility business, from gas to electric, operations to design, core business to subsidiary operations. And when we were chatting earlier, I really enjoyed learning more about those experiences. It's very broad-based and just has so much passion for what he does and his members. Bill joined the Delaware Electric Cooperative in 1998 as Vice President of Engineering and Operations and was promoted to his present position in January 2005. In addition, Bill is the Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Old Dominion Electric Cooperative. He is a board member of the Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware Association of Cooperatives, ACES Power Marketing, the Federated Rural Insurance Company, the Harrington Raceway and Casino, and the Delaware State Fair Incorporated. Bill resides in Dover with his wife Patty, so please join me in welcoming Mr. Bill Andrew.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today. Anytime co-ops can work together to help each other, it's a special time. And when we can, I was talking to Dion a little bit, talking about 39 plus years of experience, you get an awful lot of time to meet people. The difference between cooperatives and many other businesses is that we are among the people, we are with the people, we are for the people, and we put service and profit we never put service we put service but not profit above our membership at all times. Delaware Electric Co-op is the 34th largest cooperative in the United States, and we're one of the fastest growing. Everybody loves to come to the Delmarva Peninsula, and especially Delaware, to visit our wonderful areas. Keeping rates low is something that's very important for all co-ops, something that Del One does very well. And they're going to continue to do, but providing the service for the member, and there's a big difference between a customer and a member, but providing that service for the member when they really need it is what makes you special. And once you are a member and you understand that, you will be a member for life. We really appreciate the opportunity to offer the membership for Del One to all 93,875 members of Delaware Electric Co-op. Not that I don't know. And we look forward to a long and lasting relationship with them. Dion, the only thing else I could say is, if you need something, pick up the phone and call us. Thank you very much.
And now it's my honor to introduce Senator Tom Carper. And I was telling Senator Carper earlier inside that he's just someone that Del One holds near and dear to our hearts because he's been a champion of data security for a long time, and that's something that impacts members of Del One, the Delaware Electric Cooperative, just that there's transparency in reporting, and there's accountability when there's data breaches, and just wanted to say thank you so much for that. Tom Carper is the senior senator from Delaware. He served 5 years as a naval flight officer, served 3 tours of duty in Southeast Asia during the Vietnam War, and continued to serve in the Naval Reserve as a P-3 aircraft mission commander until retiring with the rank of captain in 1991 after 23 years of military service. During almost 40 years of public service, Senator Carper has worked tirelessly to develop practical solutions to real problems. His ability to work across party lines earned him a reputation for consensus building that is unique in today's political climate. Senator Carper is the ranking member of the Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs. He also serves on the Senate Finance Committee and the Environment and Public Works Committee. In January, he will be the top Democrat on the Environment and Public Works Committee, where he will continue his focus on creating a healthier environment for all Americans and making steady long-term investments in our country's outdated transportation systems. Please join me in welcoming Senator Tom Carper.
Thanks, Dion. It's great to be here with you and with Bill. It's also great to welcome Lisa Blunt Bradley, who's no stranger to these parts. Well, Rochester, I'm sorry. long time ago, when I was a congressman, Bill, a lovely young woman came into our one of our town hall meetings with a little baby boy on her lap and an unborn baby girl in her womb. And she was, I think, a graduate student, I believe, at the University of Delaware. And after the town hall meeting was over, we talked a little bit about how she might want to get involved. And long story short, she became an intern while she was in graduate school, and later on finished up and came to work for us. And her job was constituent services, initially in our congressional office. Her job was to help people who needed help in any wide range of areas. And I was fortunate enough to get elected governor and went off to the governor's office, and she came with me and worked very, very closely with us. Harvey, if you look, there's Harvey Kent, state representative. Nice round of applause for Harvey Kent. And became our Deputy Secretary of Health and Social Services, our Secretary of Labor, and went off to do all kinds of things in life, and eventually became the first Congresswoman in the history of the state. She serves today on the Agriculture Committee, first Delaware in 150 years, I think, to serve on the Agriculture Committee, and which is great for a state to raise more soybean in Sussex County, Delaware, more chickens in Sussex County, Delaware, more lima beans, I think, than just maybe any state. And we have somebody on the Ag Committee now, which is a very good thing. And she also serves on what we call Workforce and Labor, Education Labor Committee as well, two great committee assignments. And we love working with her. Chris Coons and I are just privileged to work with Lisa. Before I was any of the things that Dion mentioned, I was Grew up in, born in West Virginia, grew up in Virginia. Won a Navy ROTC scholarship and went off to Ohio State to become a naval flight officer. And when I was 21, I stood at the commencement at Columbus, Ohio, at Ohio State. And I raised my right hand along with a bunch of other guys. We're all guys in the Navy, Army, Air Force, ROTC. Took it all to defend the country and Constitution. And then we dispersed around the country to go to places for our early training. I went off to Pensacola, Florida to become a naval flight officer. I drove down there in my Corvair Monza. My Corvair Monza, made famous by Ralph Nader. He wrote a book called Unsafe at Any Speed. It was about my car. And it was unsafe at any speed. How many cars can you turn on the heater and carbon monoxide comes out? You just don't get that in any car. And you could be going around a tight turn and it will like flip or turn around backwards. So life is an adventure. It was a hard time getting dates when I had that car. But things got better when I got to Pensacola. And everybody, almost all of us were just out of school. We had no money. Some were out of the academy, some of us were ROTC, and some were in the OCS program. But everybody wanted to buy a car. And I more than anybody wanted to get rid of my Corvair Monza and buy a car. And I ended up buying a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. Well, it was a really cool little car. And I wanted to buy it, but I didn't have any money, and I didn't have any credit. And I was still like 2 weeks away from my first paycheck in the Navy. And they said to us at the base, they said, or they welcomed us and sort of gave us indoctrination, and everybody wanted to buy a car. They were going to say, maybe I could borrow money from a bank. And the Navy people said, don't borrow money from a bank. Go to Navy Federal Credit Union. We have right here on the base, we have our own Federal Credit Union, and go there. And I think we put down $5, Dion, to become a member. And a week later, I owned this, not a bright new shiny Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, but it was a lot better than my Corvair Monza. And I drove that car. I was in the Navy for 5 years. All those 5 years, I was 4 years old when I got it. Drove it for those 5 years. Drove it across country to Delaware, through graduate school for 2 years, and through 2 campaigns for state treasurer. And finally, I'd gone through 3 speedometers. I had no idea how many miles, but I got to buy that car because of Navy Federal Credit Union. And later on, I was fortunate enough to be elected state treasurer. I was 29, and I was telling to Bill and Dion earlier, Lisa, I said, the state treasurer has, in some of the responsibilities of the state treasurer, I think, morphed to you. And taking care of fringe benefits for state employees, all that stuff. And we used to have a credit union. Well, one of the first things I did when I got elected state treasurer, I signed up for the credit union. And so did, I think, most state employees. That was the foundation of what we now call Del 1, which serves, 55,000 people? From about 5,000 people to 55,000 people. Our job, people ask me, I go to these, we have town hall meetings, but I do a lot of assemblies in schools, and Lisa does too, and Chris does too. And when I go to these assemblies in schools, those little kids, these little elementary school kids, say, what do you do? What do you do? And I tell them I'm a United States Senator. Every state has 2. We have representatives, and we call congressman, congresswoman. And they say, well, what do you do? And I say, well, we make the laws for the country, the rules for the country. And then they'll say, well, what else do you do? And we explain that we help people. We help people with all kinds of problems and challenges in their lives. And that's really what you do. Bill and the folks who work at Delaware Co-op, they make it possible for people to be able to, not just to heat their homes in the winter and cool their homes in the summer, they make it possible to grow food. And up and down the Delmarva Peninsula, there's a lot of irrigation going on. We irrigate our crops. They used to use diesel. Used to use diesel engines to be able to do that, and not so much anymore. And they're able to use, because of the Delaware Electric Co-op, they're able to use electricity. They cut in half the amount of energy they use. We end up not having those emissions, the dirty stuff going up into the air. It's just a great thing. And they help their customers, their members and customers, actually reduce the consumption of electricity. It's a good thing. It's not they want to sell more. They want to help them reduce their consumption. They're there to serve their members, much as Del 1 is there to serve their members. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. We have too many people in this country that don't take advantage of these kinds of services, kinds of opportunities. And we have a lot of folks who go to payday lenders, and they end up spending an enormous amount of money, borrow money for short periods of time, pay interest rates of 100, 200%, and they don't get especially good service. And they ought to be in credit unions. They ought to be in credit unions. It's a message that we take all our 3 offices, we people call in, they're financially challenged, they need some help with that, we try to send them a credit union to get the kind of help that they need. So that's, you're in the business of helping people, we're in the business of helping people, and when we're like together, stronger together, we're stronger together. It's great to see the two of you partnering up in this new way, and it's great to be here to be able to cheer for you and applaud your work. So thank you. God bless you. It's great to be with you today. Thanks so much.
And now it's my honor to introduce Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester. She majored in international business as an undergraduate at Fairleigh Dickinson University, later earned a master's in urban affairs and public policy from the University of Delaware, and began her career as a problem solver and as an advocate. She served in the cabinets of 2 Delaware governors, as the first African-American Deputy Secretary of Health and Social Services and State Personnel Director. She believes our national security requires a strong understanding of the rest of the world. She has helped women enter the workforce in the Middle East, provided vaccines to children in Africa, and co-authored a book while living in China, which profiles women who reinvented themselves while living in a foreign country. Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester made history in 2016 when she was elected to Congress. She was the first woman and the first person of color to represent the first state in such a role. She serves on the House Committee on Education and Workforce, as well as the House Committee on Agriculture. Please join me in welcoming Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Now, I have to say something about my old boss here, Tom Carper.
You're saying, former.
So what do you do?
Actually, he's got the most energy. He's like the Energizer Bunny of the state of Delaware, so there's no discrepancy there. But I want to say, you threw me off. But I do want to say something about him before I get started in my formal remarks, because our senator has been the consummate public servant for our state. And he's been a true example and a mentor to a lot of us that are now in these positions. And one of the things that today is about, to me, is something that has always been a hallmark of his, which is strengthening Delaware families. I mean, I tell you, every day, that's what he talked about. That's what we always strove to do. And so to me, when I look at this partnership, it is really about strengthening Delaware families and Delaware communities. And that's really what it's all about. Some of our staff here, we started off this morning at a groundbreaking celebration and ribbon cutting for a housing project in the city of Wilmington. And it took partnership. It was all about partnership and how in Delaware we do things in that way. And so even the word co-op, I feel like I need to bundle that all up and take it with me to Washington so we can get some cooperation. And I really want to thank you guys for including me, because during the campaign trail, I heard a lot from people up and down the state in terms of their needs and in terms of their desires and their dreams for their families. And I actually got a chance to meet a lot with the folks from the credit unions. As a matter of fact, when I first got sworn in, the first order of business, my first month on the job in Congress, was to go get my credit union card, which is in my pocketbook. And then on the campaign trail, I also got to speak to this gentleman, and boy, I was so blown away by the amount of people whose lives are touched by the work that you do as a co-op. And I think you made the point that it's the members. It's not about just stakeholders or people who are far away. It's about people who are members and who are invested. So for me, today is really about strengthening Delaware, strengthening communities, strengthening families, but it's also about cooperation and partnership. And this is a huge one. So I'm not going to speak a lot because people are cold, and he said he's hungry. And so, but I wanted to just leave you with a proverb that I always use, and that is, sticks in a bundle are unbreakable. And I really believe the fact that two humongous sticks, because you guys have a lot of members, got together, you're stronger. We're stronger, and Delaware is stronger. So thank you for including me. Good luck with the cooperation, and we're going to bundle some of that cooperation and take it to Washington. Thanks.
Just wanted to make a couple of comments in closing before we convene and we can eat. I've really been humbled today to be up here with Mr. Andrew and Senator Carper and Congresswoman Blunt Rochester, because they truly personify the servant's heart. And just in public service and cooperatives, that's what we really look for. I know when we're hiring employees, that's what we look for, is a servant's heart. Somebody that's people that put other people before themselves and understand that what's important to the person in front of you, it's important to us as well. And so I've just really been humbled today, just hearing your stories and learning more about your backgrounds and how much public service you've already provided, and looking forward to more to come. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's been here today to commemorate this partnership, this cooperation among cooperatives. And we just hope this is more to come, and that we reach many, many people and can make a difference in their financial lives. So thank you again for being here, and have a wonderful day.